the least explored and least understood place on our planet Solaris. A secluded and frozen island, the sub-zero temperatures all year long make this a rarely visited and explored part of our world. Yet, there is a treasure to be found in these mysterious corners of our planet. In fact, where humans rarely set foot, there is a paradise for tacit discords to be discovered. On the eastern side of the island, a mountain covers the sky. Originally called the Empyrean Cliff, it is said that in ancient times, humanity carved the mountain to honor the blessings of their guardian deity, Mount Firmament. On the southern end of the known map, this is currently the coldest place on our planet. It has been frozen ever since time immemorial. Long ago, hot springs have been discovered by pioneers who then settled around them and built a very isolated but self-sufficient civilization in what is now Hongjian. It is an arid and harsh environment with sparse vegetation. Here, the sub-zero temperatures persist all year long without a sign of stopping. Due to these extreme conditions, the ecosystem has evolved to adapt to these harsh climates and take full advantage of this untouched landscape. There is always life to be encountered in even the most uninviting places on Solaris. Amidst the cold wind, we make out very loud squawks and cawings. Herons spend most of their lives close to the shore, sometimes inland as well. They are the fastest of winged creatures recorded in the sky, while also being quick-feeted on land. Herons have been recorded to traverse throughout the harshest of storms to cross the sea in search of food. A carnivore by nature, the heron's diet consists of frogs, lizards, insects, fish, and cheerpuffs and gullpuffs. Not much is currently known of their nesting and breeding habits. Scientists think that these cyan and violet-feathered herons of Mount Firmament fly to the coastal waters of the northwest to benefit of the warmer climate to lay their eggs. Whether the heron hatchlings grow up to become cyan-feathered or violet-feathered has forever been a mystery. A mystery that may never be solved. Dwarf cassowaries may have lost their ability to fly, unlike the greater herons. Yet, what they lack in flight, they make up for with speed on land. These flightless birds have evolved to have a thick coating of feathers to protect them against the harsh climate. They are mostly found in the areas below the mountain ranges of Mount Firmament to shelter themselves from the harsh winds that blow over the landscape. Around 90% of the cassowary diet consists of fruit, although they are opportunistic omnivores and take a range of other plant foods, including shoots and grass seeds, in addition to fungi, eggs, invertebrates, carrion, and small vertebrates like fish, excarates, small birds, frogs, and lizards. In the Hongzhen Chronicles, the dwarf cassowary has been described as plump and seemingly lack of intelligence. Truly a wonderful and hardy creature. In this cold and uninviting corner of our world, it is sometimes necessary to expend the least amount of energy possible. Tortoises. A master of the slow life, and an expert at living it and pacing themselves for an enjoyable and long journey. The Mount Firmamentian tortoises are speculated to be the evolutionary ancestors of the tortoises that are now seen in riverbanks and shores all around the world. These dark greyish creatures have icicles that form around their outer shells and are mostly found around the island's shores, basking in sunlight, or dancing, and dancing. Not much is known about why these creatures dance, much less the more intrinsic nature of these tacit discords, although research is progressing to understand these wonderful turtles. Found not only on the shores of the Mount Firmament Island, but also farther inland and sometimes in caves. Clangbangs don't have just icicles growing on a shell. Rather, they have learned to incorporate the cold ice and turn it into a protective shell, shielding them from the Firmamentian winter and will-be predators that constantly roam in search of an easy snack. A happy-go-lucky tacit discord, they are named as such after the distinct sound they make when it bounces. Sometimes clangbangs don't find enough ice to make a trusty shell, where we have a chance to see them in all their beauty. A greyish ball, bouncing and rolling all over. In this state without a shell, clangbangs are somewhat more agile and also more vulnerable, and the moment they sense danger, they are usually capable of scurrying to the closest shelter. Just a couple 100 meters away from this group of clangbangs located on the south shore of the island, we see an interesting sight. A pufferfish. These pufferfishes are currently divided into two different types of creatures: cheerpuffs and gullpuffs. They both have a distinct algal or lotus flower structure on their head that allows them to camouflage with the environment from their natural predators, which are the cyan and violet-feathered herons. As the would-be predators fly overhead, the pufferfishes bury themselves under the ground and stick out the upper tip of their head, leaving only an inconspicuous piece of vegetation visible. If they are found, gullpuffs and cheerpuffs have evolved to be able to ingest large amounts of water and air to forcefully blast them out into their attackers. What a creative way to escape their fate as an easy meal for the heron. On Mount Firmament, the strongest survive in this cold hell. Predators roam the land in search of their next prey. A single meal is valuable in the Firmamentian winter, as it may be the last one that a tacit discord will eat for the next few days or even weeks on end. A lone dreadmane has found 3 cyber boars, which will potentially become its next meal. Opportunistic hunters. Dreadmanes normally hunt in packs of 3 or 4, which make this a rare and unusual sight to behold. The dreadmane could go off with only 1 boar, but it decided to take all 3 boars at once. The dreadmane does not have to only worry about getting their next meal, as now a bigger threat is approaching. A spearback bear. A large and ferocious animal. It is very territorial and solitary. With the imminent promise of prey, it lunges forth. The dreadmane ignores the boars and meets the spearback head-on, and a fight ensues. A clash of claws and fangs, and the roar of both tacit discords fill the air. Then, silence. Against all odds, the Dreadmane has managed to win the fight and has now claimed the spearback bear as its prey. It now has a bountiful amount of food that can last for about a week or two. Afterwards, it will need to hunt once again. Although it has won the fight against the fearsome spearback, the Dreadmane is far from the king of the land and way too far from being at the top of the food chain. In its wake, it leaves luminous traces of light as it treads the ground, its majestic body that leaves anything it sees in awe. The mighty Light Crusher, the king of the land and the apex predator. Seen only in Mount Firmament, this incredibly ferocious tacet discord has a signature scaly back and 4 powerful crushing claws to which it owes its name. Light Crushers are extremely territorial creatures with its hunting grounds spanning anywhere from 1 to a couple square kilometers. Not much is known about their feeding habits, even what prey they hunt. Until more research has been done on these elusive creatures, we may never not know much more than this. After an extensive search to further document the Light Crusher, it has recently been discovered that there are only 13 of these creatures out in the wild, marking them as a critically endangered species. Why and how they have become an endangered species is unknown, but now ongoing efforts to study the Light Crusher and its mating habits may soon result in a groundbreaking discovery that will allow us to preserve the Light Crusher. Over several millennia, echoes have evolved to adapt to all sorts of environments. There is still so much that we do not know about the inhabitants of Mount Firmament. By studying these echoes, we have a chance to build a relationship and an understanding of these wonderful tacet discords, and hopefully be able to preserve this beautiful environment for these beautiful creatures. Amidst the cold wind, you can see that life continues. Hardy, opportunistic, savage, ferocious, and magnificent.